Hey, good morning, guys. We are in the process of moving and packing and all the stuff that we're supposed to be doing here. And I just got home from the tour, from the Hot Rod Power Tour, which went really well, I thought. We didn't end up going the last day, but that's okay. Anyway, today we are going to build the very last model, because we got to be out of here this week. But I just feel like building a model today, and we are going to build a model of the Revell Street Burner 69 Chevy Nova Yenko. This is what, 125th, I think? 125th, yep. And it's just a Yenko Camaro, or I'm sorry, Yenko Nova. And it's the 68 Nova. And you can do it either, they give you both black and white Yenko markings. And so we're gonna do, we're just gonna make a standard one. I think what we're gonna do, and here's the parts, they're in white, they're molded in white. Here's the directions, here's the engine stuff. This is pretty much just a basic Nova, I think, a Nova kit, other than the fact that it has Krager SS rims that came with it. And because it's just a basic kit, which is it's a reissue from, I think, round 2. And then here's the tires. So it's a basic kit. There's nothing wonderful about it except that it has the Yenko stickers on it. And I decided to go with this. This is the colors we're going with. We're going to go with yellow. I actually looked up, and like I said, I'm sorry everything's a mess, but I actually looked up the colors Yenko came in, and one of the colors is yellow, a bright yellow. So this would be the yellow we're doing, Gloss Sun Yellow from Crayon. It's a paint primer. And then our interior color, I was going to do black, and I thought, you know what? The 70s had a lot of greens and reds and orange, yellows, and they also had a lot of brown interiors. So we're just going to do this brown interior right here, brown boots interior. And that's the interior we're going to do. And as you can see, I've already put the first coats of yellow on. So that's yellow there. This is yellow here. The rest of this will be painted brown. I already painted the block, the engine block that I put together. That's really all I did. The engine block was orange. And then we have the seats, which I've already glued together. We will spray the seats. We will spray the interior door panels. Where are they? I thought I just had them. Oh, right there. Here's all the interior parts. So we'll spray all the interior parts brown. Because, you know, it's a Yenko, but they were made at the dealership. So what Yenko did was took stock SS, not stock Novas, they weren't, but they were stock SS Novas, and then he made them the Yenkos. And so a stock SS Nova that was yellow would probably come with a tan interior, I would think. And so that's the one we're going to use. I think I like that. We don't have a lot of yellow cars. The only other yellow car I think we made was that GTO. So we made the GTO model way back. So we're going to make this one. And we're not going to do the full walk through the whole build thing. We're just going to kind of show you. I'm going to build it today. It's a Sunday. I'm going to build it while I'm editing. So right now, while our day 3 edit is going through right now, it has to render. So it's going to take, it says about, well, certainly better not take 3 hours. It'll probably take about an hour to render. It's noon. So I'll probably build the model today while I'm sitting here rendering this. And if you haven't seen any of our Hot Rod Power Tour videos, please check them out. And if you haven't seen the Wellborn Museum, you need to check that one out. The Wellborn Museum, you need to check out. That's not even that's one of our best videos. Plus, go to the Johnny Cash and see what our Johnny Cash garage looked like, because that one's evidently doing really well. A lot of people like that. All right, so I'll be back shortly after we paint some of this stuff. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. All right, guys, so we used panel line accent color black on the grill, on the back, and on these rims, and on the hood, the chrome pieces that go on the hood. We've painted the brown, so we've got things painted. So we have the hood painted, the console has to be repainted brown. Here's the interior, there's your inside of your wheel wells. We've got the frame spray painted yellow and the black areas where they need to be black. We've done the wheels and part of the firewall right there. And we've got the interior pieces spray painted with the brown boots, which looks like leather. It does, it actually comes out that way. Here's the yellow that we used. Then we also have black primer Crayon for some of the suspension pieces. And we're using the Rust-Oleum metallic primer and silver metallic for the aluminum, the exhaust system, the radiator, and the aluminum heads, the aluminum manifold, and other pieces here. And of course there's the car body. So right now everything is just drying, and I said if you look at these seats, that brown boot leather looks like leather. They look like leather seats. So that's where we're at right now, and we'll start putting it together shortly. So one of the things is I use Sharpies. Like if you want to do the orange marker lights on the bumpers, the Sharpies do really good on that. And if you can tell, they also do really good on the red lights too. So you can use those for the red lights. And I also use the silver Sharpie to put the chrome cover on the rear end and to do the gas tank there. And I use the blue Sharpie, which I don't know if you could see it all that well, but to put the blue centers on the Kragers there. So did that, and we're just gonna keep moving along. Oh, also I used the silver one for the gauges on the console and for the other area there. And I also put seat belts on the seats using two different Sharpies, the black Sharpie and the silver Sharpie. So I just make seat belts up and I put them on. So the Sharpies are the best thing, and I'm also going to use the silver Sharpie to put the trim around the windows. Like on here, all this trim, you can just use a Sharpie to do that. You don't have to paint it. Just use a Sharpie. See right there, just use a Sharpie, do the aluminum, and it's done. Easy peasy, easy cleanup. Alright, so we've got parts of the engine done. We've got the heads on We've got the fan assembly on with the belt system, and I just used a black Sharpie to do the belt as well as the fan. Just a black Sharpie, no big deal. And now we will finish the engine up, and that is what we're doing. So we're going to finish this engine and then we'll let it dry. On with the orange and black Sharpie, I tried to put like the little Fram decal, not decal, but I do just the Fram colors to kind of look like it's a Fram oil filter, a white one with a label on it, and then of course the blue aftermarket distributor cap. And then with the black marker, I went ahead and did the hoses. These bronze, because you have this color bronze or you have this color Sharpie, either one, and I'll do the carburetor with this color, which is closer to a real carburetor. So there it is in the frame, and now it'll just sit and dry for a bit. And on the air cleaner, what you can do is use some white craft paint, and if you do white craft paint, and I'll show you that on the side of the air filter, it looks just like the paper filter. We'll do that shortly. Okay guys, so this is the seats, which is also the Yenko Chevy logo. They go on the back of my seats. We have to put those on. We have to put these on and then clear coat the seats before we put them in the interior. So here's also using the magic marker, or the Sharpie, silver Sharpie. We finished the inside. We put the ashtrays in. We did the door handles and everything using the black and silver Sharpies. So that came out really cool. That's my dashboard right there. And the way the Nova dashboard is it's going to look basically the same looking through the window. So I got the dashboard done, and then we have the steering wheel done. And so we're just going to keep putting this together. As I said, it's not going to take too long, and we're doing this while we're uploading all our power tour videos. Okay, so we have the interior done. As you can see, there's the console, the shifter, the gauges package. We've got even the ashtrays are showing up, the seat belts, steering column, dashboard. So the interior is done, and then of course the engine is also done, even down to the decal on the air cleaner. So the engine is done, and then we can put this up on top of there, so then that's going to fit like that. And so we will just continue putting this together. Just keep putting it together. This is it's an easy model to put together, guys. So it's just very methodical. You build the engine, then you build this, then you build that, and you can see how we pre-painted everything first. And like, look at the console and the seat belts, everything that was done with a Sharpie, another Sharpie, a black Sharpie, and just painting everything tan. And then that just gives you it totally changed look. And by the way, I just drew the seat belts on there. They're not molded in or anything. I just know that there's 3 seat belts in the back seat and 1 for the front, and we just marked them on there, and that's what we did. So they kind of look good. All right, we're gonna move on. Here on there, the overflow bottle, the brake master cylinder with the brake system. So the brake system's on there. This is all glued, so this has to dry. Engine's in there, so that has to dry. And then we have the exhaust system, and the exhaust system is 2 parts, and you can kind of see how it goes in right here. So this goes in this way, and then this is going to be this way underneath. So I have to paint this silver. I mean, I could do it with the Sharpie too, but we'll just spray paint that silver and move on from there. Guys, so I'm just doing a test fit. So the interior parts all fit fine. The hood fits on, but not if I put the air cleaner on it. Now that may change once we get the front suspension, because I don't have any suspension on yet. I have the engine in there. So when I put the suspension on, hopefully that will change this, but if it doesn't, we'll just leave the air cleaner off and we'll put the hood on, because you know, you've seen my channel, I don't ever put the hinges on anyway, and then we'll just use the air cleaner for something else. But because this being a Yenko Nova, I definitely want to make sure that I have all the correct stuff on it and it looks right. But I don't have any glass in it yet. So all we have to do is pull the body off, put glass in it, put some of the chrome on, and then we're just going to do the bottom. So I'm going to probably put the I'll probably put the axles and all the underneath parts on tonight so that they can dry overnight, and then we will finish the car tomorrow. I'm really happy I went with the yellow paint though. That's gonna look really cool. Moved out here to the kitchen because I'm in the middle of moving and the lamp that I was using isn't around, so I have to use this for better light. So we did that. So there's the exhaust, and then we just put the front pieces in right here. So we have those in, and so the next thing we're going to be doing is putting the rear suspension in, which is, we'll start with the leaf springs and the axle, and then we'll put that in. I think that's a rear sway bar, and then we'll put in the 2 shocks. So we'll do those and they will go right here. One of the benefits of having it yellow and the other parts I painted black is because it's easy to see where all the holes are. So anyway, that's where we're at. Remember when I painted the axle, and then I used the silver Sharpie and the black Sharpie to do the pumpkin and the bolts. So I have that there. And then I have, here's the other part that's black. That's going to go on the other side. And then here are the leaf springs. And then I place I think that's a sway bar. I'm not sure what that actually is. I want to say sway bar, but I could be wrong. And then here are the 2 coilover shocks or whatever. I suppose maybe air shocks. I'm not sure what they actually are. What I ended up doing was cutting the end of the drive shaft off and just kind of gluing it in place with the ends without sticking them in any holes, because the rest of this, it's just as easy to put it in this way upside down, and then you turn it, and we're going to let it dry like this so that the axles will lay on the leaf springs and dry. So this will just sit here for the next couple hours. Our Sharpie, silver Sharpie, to outline all the chrome around the windows. We used our black fill to do the vent areas. And so now we've taken our glass pieces, sanded them down. So you sand them down to make sure that they're smooth. We're going to use Hodgepodge, which you've seen in other videos that we do. So you can use Hodgepodge. It dries completely clear, and it's pretty strong. And so what we'll do is we're going to turn the car over, and we're going to put the pieces of glass in using Hodgepodge and this. So if you don't know what Hodgepodge looks like, let me open this up. So it kind of looks like a white goo, and see how that's gooey? So you can use that, and then what you do is you just kind of put the goo around liberally, because you can paint this afterwards. So we're going to goo this up, and then we will put the glass in. So you put a lot on. It's not watery, it's kind of gooey. So we'll do that, and then glass right on it. And we don't care if we can see a little bit of it because, like I said, it's going to dry. And then if you look inside, see how it has the inside fabric on the roof. So we will be painting this brown to match the interior. And we can paint right over this glue once this dries. So we're going to give this probably about 24 hours to dry. And we're going to put the windshield in and the side glass too. All right, so you could see how I got some, and I actually purposely put some on the window. So I put some on this window here and this window here and on the front window so that you can see what's there now. And then in about 24 hours when we come back, that will all be completely clear. See that this is all, we left this overnight, so now the suspension is done and we had the wheels glued on right there. So now we're going to take the tires and wheels, we're going to use our Mod Podge, and we are going to use Mod Podge. We're going to put Mod Podge on this part and we will put this on here. These wheels, by the way, on this particular kit had metal pins, and the metal pins are in each wheel and they were put into the axle. So that is the next step. So we're going to do that and we'll let this sit as well as while the glass dries. We're also going to let this sit for 24 hours and we're going to put our wheels on. So the tires, we'll put the glue in there and then we'll push these on here and then we'll let this sit for 24 hours as well. So the hood, we put the two chrome pieces on the hood there. We put the chrome piece along the front. We still have to paint right here, that area right there, the emblem, the Chevy emblem. But I thought what we'll do while we're waiting is we're going to go ahead and put the Yenko Camaro, I'm sorry, the Yenko logo on the hood to this Yenko Nova. So that is the first decal. There we go. So Yenko, Chevy, there you go. All right, guys, so we have the Krager rims and tires on the chassis. And if we look, it's solid. So they all sit. And that's a big thing with some of these kits, is to make sure. Now, looks like my drive shaft is not completely lined up, but the reality is when I put the seats on and everything else, it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to tell. And that's okay, because if I lift it up underneath, it looks like it is. Also, if we look now, the glass, like I told you, remember I said how the glass would, once it dries, so if you look, it is completely clear. All the windows are completely clear because Hodgepodge dries completely clear. So next thing we need to do is we're going to paint this to match this. So we'll spray some of the spray paint of this color into a can, or into a, we'll spray some of the spray paint into a paper cup, and then we'll use that and we'll match up the interior with this interior. Let that dry. Our hood is dry. Looks really good, I think. And then we will start doing final assembly, and then we will put on all the decals. So it's getting there. We're getting there. We're not done yet. We have to put the bumpers and the front grille and all that stuff on yet. So we still have a place to go, things to do. So we'll do that soon. Here is not the finished product, but it's where we're at now. So I haven't glued the body on, and I haven't glued the interior in, but this fits together so good you may not have to do that. The hood is on. I just pushed the grill in and I pushed the bumper on. This isn't glued yet. It can come right off. And I have not put in the radiator yet. The radiator support's there, but I haven't put the radiator in yet. So I don't know whether the air cleaner is going to work on this, and if it doesn't, that's okay. But I like the stance. The first thing I make sure before I glue anything is that all four wheels fit, all four wheels are in, and the stance is correct. And I don't have the back bumper on obviously yet, but all four wheels are on. The stance looks good to me. And so I can pop this bumper off, and I can pop the grill out, and I can take the hood off. Like I said, that's not glued in yet. And so now what I have to do is just put the radiator support in there. Well, the radiator support's here, but the radiator and the cowl will go in there. Put the brake back on, because the little brake booster can't, well, this is the booster, but the actual brake reservoir is missing. And then we'll finish this off with the mirror, door handles, all the other chrome pieces that are missing, little pieces. We'll put the back bumper on, the front bumper on, and then it'll be done. Now, and so I got a question the other day. I got somebody who said, you know, for beginners, or what if I make a mistake? Well, look, here's a mistake right here. If you look, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll turn it. Right there's a little bit of a run, or what do you call it, orange peel maybe, on that back quarter panel. I'm not going to worry about that. I don't worry about real tiny issues, you know, because it's a model. It's a model. Now, it's not perfect. It's not a real car. We all know it's not a real car. It's also why, like, I'll put the radiator hose on. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This one I will. But it is a model, and it's a representation of something that is really cool. And I wanted a Nova 4. Could have been a 72. This is 69. It could be 69, 70, 71, 72. My brother's was actually a 72, and it wasn't a Yenko, obviously. But I like these cars. We saw a lot of them on the tour, and so I like them, and I wanted to build a model of one. So that's what we're doing, because it should go in the collection. Okay, so what do you guys think? Easy model to put together. I think, you know, we've spent, oh, I have to put the windshield wipers on, or maybe I don't. There was a lot of cars on the tour that didn't have windshield wipers on, so I don't know. Should we put windshield wipers on it or not? I don't know. Anyway, so this is our next model Monday, and I hope you guys like the Yenko. I'm gonna finish this up. I'll show you a couple more things before it's over, but thank you guys for saying you wanted to keep seeing model building. It's a little different than we did before, and once I get into the new place, we'll set it all up. I'll do it the way I did before, which was completely step by step. If you like this kind of thing, I think we have like 25 models that are done already. Some are step by step. We have that one, the Valvoline car, which we did in real time in what, an hour and 3 minutes? We did the whole thing in real time. So without any edits, no cuts, no waiting for things to dry or nothing. We just went ahead and did it. So that's cool. But anyway, so this is, and you know, I'm just trying to show you how to make one and have fun. Have fun with these things, and they're awesome. And as I just found out talking to people, car guys like me who have real cars and model cars and Hot Wheel cars, they're all the same. I also have a ton of Hot Wheel cars. So they're all the same. Now, the only Hot Wheel cars I get, by the way, are real cars. I don't get the Hot Wheels that are not like real, actual cars. But anyway, and I also have big die-cast. I have some big die-cast cars too. So, yeah, we're car guys. We like car shit. We like car stuff. That's what it is. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And like I said, we're not done yet, but I just wanted to say thanks for the kind words and everything when I was asking you guys before if you wanted to still build these. Put the radiator support in, and the radiator, I chose not to put the cowl in because sometimes with models, and this is it, I mean, here's your cowl right here, and it probably could have fit in there, but if I put it in, this fan actually spins because the gear, not the gear, but the fan weight, what is it called? The thing in front of the fan goes all the way actually through into the block for this. So, and I want to put the hose here, so I want to put the hose in and everything, so I didn't do that. So now we have, that is drying. Once that's dry, then we'll put the whole front end on. We'll put the radiator hose in with the thermostat. Oh, fan clutch, that's what I'm thinking of, the fan clutch. So there's a fan clutch on here, that's the chrome piece, which you wouldn't be able to see if I put the shroud on there. And honestly, I took the shroud off a lot of my cars back in the 80s anyway. I mean, now I wouldn't do it because they overheat and everything, but yeah. And I may paint this chrome, because this is chrome in a lot of cars, but I don't know, maybe I'll paint it silver, maybe I just won't paint it, maybe I'll leave it body color, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we just glued the back bumper on and the front grille on, and we are keeping that upside down so they dry without falling off. And then we'll put the front bumper on and some of the other chrome pieces like the mirror and the door handles and stuff. Actually, I'm not gonna put the door handles on until I'm done putting all the decals on. The passenger side says Yenko on it right there. Sorry for the light being the shadow. And so that one we will let dry for a little bit. Then we'll do the other side. And we're just following the directions on here and on the box. Got up, and now we had the other side, the driver's side on, and we use this salvage set, which you can buy. It's like $2, lasts forever, and it's a salvage set for decals. And what you do is once a decal's on there and you got it where you want, you put this on, and it really just kind of dissolves it and makes it the part of the paint. So I mean, it doesn't work like acid or anything. It just, you put it on there and it will really help bond the decals to the paint. So if you've never used it, it's worth it. But I like that line. So there's the Yenko line. Cool. All right, guys, so we are basically done with the Nova. We followed all the directions here. We did use the, if you look, so we did use the decal for that front marker light because it also has the engine size emblem on there. We only colored in the one in the back. We colored those in using a Sharpie. We also colored in the headlights with a silver Sharpie, and we colored in the marker lights in the front with a orange Sharpie. Now, they also had some decals, let's pull the hood off here, for the Chevy emblem, and you can see where it's red, if you can see red and blue there. So that red and blue, I just used the Sharpies again. Why? Because they are easier to put on, and it is much easier to put on than decals. Now, this decal sheet had all this stuff. This is a really decent decal sheet. It had a lot of these marker lights and everything, but a lot of times it's just as easy to color with a Sharpie. Save those for when you need them, because the marker lights and everything on this one were actually formed in there, so we could color them in. Now the only thing we have to do is put windshield wipers on, put the door handles on, which we will put on shortly. So I think we only have windshield wipers, door handles, and the mirror. And once we're done that, oh, by the way, the body actually is not glued on. So I could still take the body off if I wanted to, because I did forget, by the way, to paint the inside brown, but I also, you know, you can leave it yellow too. They came that way. So, and it looks good. The whole model looks good. The air cleaner does barely fit on here, and I have the air cleaner right here. The air cleaner fit really well. It had a stem on the middle that would push down on there, and I kept cutting the stem thinking that's why it wouldn't fit on, but now there's no stem at all, and while it will sit on there and it looks pretty, it still doesn't fit under the hood. There's just a slight bulge. If I put this on here and then I stick the hood on, as you can see, oh, actually it does fit. So, oh no, yeah, it does. Okay, so it fits. So we can put that on there too. But you do, now see, this is what it does. It just misaligns a little bit here. So I'm gonna pull this off. And we could, you know, can I glue that on there? I can. Will I? I'm not. I'm gonna put that in the box. It'll go into my spares box. It does have a carburetor. Everything else is there. It's a still cool looking engine. I put this on, it sits completely flat. Anyway, so as soon as I get the windshield wipers on everything else, we'll do the presentation of it on our black and white turntable. And if you guys like I don't know if I taught you before, these turntables I got on Amazon, they're actually for wedding cakes or cakes. And you get 2 in a pack. I think they were $12. And the other thing we will be putting on is Future. If you've watched anything or TV, so this Pledge Revive It, which used to be called Future. Whenever you're looking at models at, oh man, yeah, that went up a little bit too high on the back, but that's okay. I'm not going to kill myself over it. This one, so this went a little high. That one, but okay, that's all right. Like I said, we build models for fun. We don't build them for, this should have been down maybe, I don't know, 1/10 of an inch. Anyway, sorry, getting back to the Pledge. So anytime you see really shiny stuff, so we'll take the Pledge, you brush it on everything, the glass, the wheels, everything. You just put a couple coats, or you take a big brush, you put it on here, you let it sit. You let it sit. You don't come back and touch it. You just let it sit overnight, and then this thing will be shiny as a brand new car, and it won't hurt any of the glass or anything else. And as I said before, if we still notice the glass, you cannot see any of the Hodge or Mod Podge, remember? And it's the Mod Podge, which is, if you get this, like I get this at Hobby Lobby, the orange one, the Mod Pod orange is the one you want. So anyway, and all the wheels fit fine. The interior looks good. So right here, yep, I did it. I went a little high, and actually I can even see where it went up a little bit. But you know what? It's a model. We're not talking a real car. And I messed up a little bit, and I could see where where instead of the angle, instead of here, and I know I rushed it because I was heading out the door this morning. When I put that on, I forgot about it. It is what it is, and we're okay with that. Because, like I said, they're models, they're fun, they're meant to be fun. It still looks absolutely cool. I like this. Anyway, we'll be back with the final reveal, final picture, whatever we call it. All right, guys. So here is the finished model. Here's the finished model. And it came out really good, I think. Basically spent about 6 hours putting it together, not including the paint dry time. And let's open up the hood. We have the air cleaner on. Oh, I forgot to put the brake thing in. I have to put that back in. But we have the hose on for the engine compartment right now. If we pick it up, you can see we have the underneath, very nicely done, nice detail, not super spectacular, but nice. We put the license plates on. Now, if you notice, I use a silver. I colored the lenses with silver. There is no the glass lenses I didn't put on. I just colored in the bowls with the silver Sharpie. And that silver Sharpie on the chrome makes it look like there's headlight glass there. And then these here are Sharpie. We put those decals on. We put the mirror on. We put the door handles there. We have a Pennsylvania tag, which is very cool since I'm originally from Pennsylvania. We used a Sharpie for the red and the red. We used a craft paint for the white. Sharpie for the red there. Sharpie for for the key, for the emblem, Sharpie for that red part there, and you can see the paint's a little bit messed up there, and I just said, you know what, I'm not gonna fix it. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. We put Sharpie that did all the chrome around the windshield. We put the windshield wipers on. So let's put the lid back on. The hood goes there, and we got a really nice model. All right, guys, so what do you think? What do you think? I like the yellow. The red is cool too, but I like the yellow. And if you actually want to know more about Yenko, especially Yenko Novas, if you want to look at our Carlisle GM 2021 video, we actually find an actual red called a deuce. So look like that, but it's a deuce. It says deuce on the inside, so you can see real ones. I'll put down the video number, will be right here. So we'll put a little thing there if you want to look up the video. All our videos are numbered. And anyway, I just love this car. I like the look of it. I like the bumblebee look, and I'm very happy with it. This is an easy build. It says level 5, 13 and up, but it's probably because of the glue and the paint. But enjoy. If you have a Nova, I suggest you make this. I think you can get them from Walmart. You can get them online from Round 2, from Revell. There's all kinds of Nova kits out there. And go ahead and build your Nova the color you want it to be and everything else. And that's what I did here. I made mine yellow. They made theirs red. You can make yours blue, green, purple, primer. You want to make a primer one, or one that has a different color fender, red, white, and blue, or whatever you want to do. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.
Where it says merchandise store right here, merchandise store link, you will see it says https:/junkyards-barn-finds, and you click on that and it's going to take you here.